Facebook is still one of the best platforms when it comes to running online ads and acquiring new customers. Although many are hyping Instagram or TikTok now, you shouldn't forget, over 2 billion people are active on Facebook worldwide. That's a gigantic reach that many completely underestimate, especially businesses. The age group between 25 and 55 is particularly well represented there, exactly the people who don't just scroll through, but are also willing to actually spend money. In this video, I'll show you step by step how to set up your first Facebook ad campaign, from the first click to the finished ad. And I promise you, if you stick with it until the end, you'll understand Facebook much better than 90% of other marketers. Believe me, it's easier than you think. Maybe you've seen the boost post button on a post before. Many people click on it because it looks quick and simple, but let me be honest with you, you're better off leaving it alone. That's the fastest way to just burn your budget. Why? It's simple. With this function, you have hardly any control. You can't properly define your target audience, you can't run tests, and you can't build a clean structure. You press boost, but in the end, you don't really know where your money went. That's why you should always work through the Meta Business Manager. With it, you control your campaign like a pro, have all the features at your fingertips, and can truly monitor your results. Before you can even start, you need a Facebook profile. You use that to create your business account, the so-called business manager. There you manage your pages, ad accounts, access rights, and much more. Many want to jump right in and skip this step. Big mistake. Without the business manager, the whole thing ends in pure chaos. Once you're in the business manager, you'll sooner or later get to the ads manager, and this is where the exciting part begins. The structure is always the same. At the very top are the campaigns, below that are the ad groups, and at the very bottom are the individual ads. Each level has its own task. At the campaign level, you define what you want to achieve with your advertising. Do you want to build reach? Do you want to bring more traffic to your website? Do you want to generate more interaction, like likes, comments, shares? Do you want to collect leads, for example, email addresses? Or do you want to achieve direct sales? For most, the goal of sales is the most interesting. That's why we'll use it as an example here. Next up is the ad group. There you define your target audience, age, gender, interests, location, and so on. A classic mistake is to set the target audience way too narrow. I've seen campaigns that only target 5,000, 10,000 people. Far too little. Of course, if you have a local business, it can make sense. But as soon as you're selling nationwide, internationally, in the DACH region or similar, you should definitely start broader. My tip, start big. Later, you can copy, adjust, and test different target groups. That's the only way to find out who really responds well to your ads. You can also upload your own customer data, which is called custom audiences, or create a lookalike, meaning you find people who are most similar to your best customers. What's important is don't overcomplicate it right away with 10 different interests and tons of restrictions. Better to start simple, collect data, focus on the ad creative, that is what the customers see, and then optimize based on that. At the ad group level, you also decide where your ads will be displayed. Should they be shown in the feed? Should they be shown in stories? On which platform should they be displayed? You can also set here whether you want to show it on Instagram, Facebook, on both platforms, and so on. If you're still unsure about where your target group is, you can just leave it on automatic at the start and let Facebook decide. Later, you can analyze more precisely where the best results are coming from. An extremely important point is also the Facebook pixel. Without this tracker, you're basically flying blind. The pixel shows you what happens after the click, who buys, who signs up, who drops off. Without this information, you can't really improve your campaign. Of course, there are many additional features like attribution settings or optimization goals, but in the beginning, it's perfectly fine to focus on the basics and generate your first profits. For the budget, you have two options: campaign budget, also called CBO for short, which is campaign budget optimization, or the ad group budget, or ABO for short, which is ad set budget optimization. With CBO, you let Facebook handle the distribution of the total budget. With ABO, you decide yourself how much each ad group gets. My tip, for under 50 euros a day, it's better to use ABO. That way you keep full control. For higher budgets, definitely CBO, or in most cases it's more worthwhile because the algorithm can then optimize more flexibly and data-driven. Now we come to the heart of it, the creatives. Videos are often an eye catcher and generate more attention, but a strong image with a clear message can also work very, very well. Very important, the message has to land in the first few seconds. Nobody waits 10 seconds to understand what it's about. So you need a short, concise text, a strong headline, and a clear call to action, like shop now or learn more. Also, always test different variations, but a tip, or rather a requirement, I would say, only change one single factor per test. That way, you can later see exactly what made the difference. For the analysis, I also recommend a Creative Analytics dashboard. With it, you not only see which clicks and conversions are there, but also how good the hook was, meaning did you catch their attention, or the hold rate, did the user stay engaged? Or you can also see different marketing angles, because there are simply people who buy for different reasons. You can sell the same product to multiple target groups. Some might buy it because it's vegan, others buy it for the taste, and others in turn buy it because it's simply affordable. This means the same product can appeal to different target groups. Another tip for the analysis: always pay attention to how much budget each ad has already spent. The numbers are only really meaningful after a certain spend, because if you've spent €5 and the ROAS is at 10, it could just be a lucky sale, a sale that might have happened by chance. Only when, for example, 100, 500, €1,000 have been spent does the ROAS, or return on ad spend, become more and more realistic. This means the higher the spend, the more meaningful the values are. Likewise, tools like a Launchpad are extremely helpful for keeping an overview. Which ads are in the testing phase, which ads are performing very well, which ads should you rather turn off, and so on. And another important topic is tracking. The topic of tracking is more complex today than ever before. Apple updates, ad blockers, new data regulations simply make exact measurement more difficult, which is extremely important for optimization. Because the probability is extremely high that you won't be profitable with your first ad, but if you make a few optimizations afterwards, you can become profitable very, very quickly. That's why you also have to be careful in all the managers here, the Facebook Ads Manager, or on other platforms like Google, TikTok, and so on, because many numbers in the Ads Manager are just rough estimates, or as the corporations call them, modeled conversions. That's why many marketers use additional tracking solutions that run independently of the corporations. And here I naturally recommend our own software. You can also find the link in the description. When you have set everything up at the campaign level, at the ad group level, at the ad level, connected the external tools and so on, then on the last page there is a button that says Publish. You can click on that once you've created everything. Facebook reviews the ads. This can sometimes take a few minutes if you've run ads before, or it can also take a few hours or sometimes a day if you're running your first ads. After you've published it and collected the first data, then the real work begins. Analyzing results, testing new variations, optimizing target groups. This is how you gradually find the best combinations that bring you the most revenue. So you see, Facebook ads are not difficult. The secret is quite simple. You just have to work with structure and a system instead of just clicking on something, using the business manager instead of Boost Post, working with a clean setup, making database decisions, having clean tracking, and constant optimization. You can run ads with €100, but you can also run ads with €100,000. It's all just a system. If you implement all of this, you're already a big step ahead of the competition. And with every cent you invest, with every optimization, with every tested variation, your system will automatically get better and better so that you also generate more and more revenue. So that's it for this video. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments at any time. See you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.